Today I'm going to talk about a graded communicative syllabus in English for professional students. I would like to tell you about language. Language is a kind of patterning. It's a pattern in the brain. The more you practice, the better the pattern in the brain. So I would like to suggest that there's a need for introducing a graded communicative syllabus over the curriculum, across the curriculum for our professional students. What I mean by the graded communicative syllabus is that in the first semester itself, there's a need for introducing study skills. What are study skills? Study skills are those skills which will be helping us to study. Normally, in a classroom, nobody talks about how to study. We tell the students go and study, and we tell them go and read a novel or a short story or a prose and come prepared for a discussion, something like that. But nobody tells them how to go about in doing that one. So that's why we have to help them with certain strategies, certain techniques to develop the study skills. There are a number of study skills. I would suggest just to talk about one or two. For example, physical study skills, how to sit in the classroom, how to sit at home, the direction at which you are sitting, and the neatness of the hall, the room where you're sitting. All these are very important. Even in the classroom, how you sit is also equally important. And then we'll be telling the reading techniques, the techniques of reading, the skimming, scanning, the techniques of writing, the strategies of writing an essay, strategies of writing other discourse elements. All these things will be discussed in the classroom in the beginning itself, in the first semester. So they get to know what are the techniques that can be used for studying the subject English. The second thing, so that the first semester itself will be introducing the study skills to the students. Sometimes it may not be the first semester, it may be the first induction period, for example, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, prior to the class, the start of the classes, we'll be introducing this. And secondly, we will be starting with what is called public speaking. The students are expected to speak publicly in the classroom at least 4 or 5 times. So when they are speaking publicly in the classroom, what really happens is that they will be losing their stage fright. But we know that there are some students who may not be losing their stage fright, so we leave them. Slowly they will take it up, and they imbibe those things that we discuss in the classroom. So most of the students will be getting rid of this stage fright. That will be beneficial for them when they go for an interview. So that public speaking, what we do is that we are focusing not only on the speech, we'll be focusing on written as well. For example, when we ask them to write down, to organize a speech, so they will learn how to organize a speech, and then we'll be checking those things. So checking is there, they're writing, checking, that will be helping them to write correct English, or move towards correct English. And secondly, we'll be focusing on how to speak. Even the aspects of pronunciation will be taken up, grammar will be taken up, all those things. So along the speech, they're not really learning the technique of speaking, they're also learning the other things called pronunciation, organization of a topic, and grammar. All those things will be discussed in the classroom. So it's a kind of comprehensive one. It integrates everything, not really one skill, but several skills will be taken up in the classroom, and that would be beneficial for them for their total proficiency of language. So the first one is study skills, the second one is public speaking skills, otherwise we call it speech communication. The third one is interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication, right, interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication. By interpersonal communication, what I mean is that how to behave. The students are not taught how to behave in the classroom or how to behave at home. So we will be teaching them how to behave. So interpersonal means the communication between two people, maybe between two groups, between a teacher and a student, husband and wife, children and parents, etc. So we will be teaching them how to behave. And the components that will be covering there will be, the first one will be behavior patterns, the second one is self-esteem, values, beliefs, culture, and then we'll be coming to conflict, how to reduce conflict, why we are going for conflict, what are the reasons of conflict, and how to reduce conflict, and relationships, how to repair relationships, how to maintain relationships. Then we'll be talking about the power, the concept of power, and all those things which may be related to management. And then we'll be discussing love relationship, the nature of love between two people. For example, how a man or a boy will be looking at love, and how a girl will be looking at love, all those things. So while the student is learning about the subject matter that is mainly related to their life skills, along with that they will be learning language, number of words, beliefs. For example, examples like self-esteem, attribution, false attribution, self-esteem, power relations, and different various love relationship, all these things they will be learning. So they will be learning in number of words. And even speech also they will be learning in number of words. Study skills also they will be learning in number of words. And here also in interpersonal communication they will be learning in number of words. The fourth one that I am suggesting for this great communicative syllabus is that technical communication, technical comm. So what I mean by technical comm is not vocabulary. We normally will be teaching a lot of vocabularies and grammar for this course. But what I'm suggesting is that will be the end of the whole course. What I'm suggesting is that we will be teaching students how to write a project. That is, how to write a project from the beginning to the end. The subject teacher, the engineering subject teacher, will be giving them a topic. What we'll do is that we'll be helping him to write from the beginning to the end. We'll be checking his subject, we'll be checking his topic, and we'll be guiding him to write from the beginning to the end. So he'll be able to write a project. So probably the subject teacher may be helping him, but we will also be looking after those things from the beginning to the end. The topic will be given by the subject teacher, but we will be helping him to write the first page, second page, third page, first chapter, second chapter, third chapter, bibliography, everything. We'll be checking all those things. That will form part of it. What I'm telling is that the graded syllabus will make them think about the objective behind each one. They will feel that these are important for them. These are needed by them. So there is a kind of purpose behind their study of English. That's why I say that this great communication syllabus it works. And the technical communication. After technical communication, we'll be coming to what is called academic writing. Academic writing. In academic writing, what it means is that how to write an essay, how to write a paragraph, how the paragraphs are combined together to produce a holistic thought. That means how to produce one essay, a chapter, how chapters are combined together to produce a project or an assignment, etc. We'll be teaching them. And the main component here will be the discourse analysis or discourse. What I mean by discourse is that grammar is always taught at the level of 1 or 2 sentences. So we cannot teach grammar beyond 3 sentences. So that means a lower level of skill. And the students are always exposed to these things. Teaching again grammar will be boring for them. Grammar should be taken or can be taken at the end of each course as a separate revision course, not as a module as a component. So that is discourse analysis, how to connect sentences, how to connect paragraphs, how to paragraphs are connected and chapters are connected together to produce a project, etc. So that is academic writing. And the next one is what is called career development skills. Career development skills. There we'll be teaching them how to write a CV, different types of CV, chronological CV, the other number of types of CVs are there, and we'll be writing those things, and they'll be getting trained in that one. And then we'll be teaching them how to write a cover letter, and then we'll be teaching them about how to face an interview board. So the interview skills will also be taken up there. So these are the things probably we'll be taking it up in a graded communicative syllabus. I will repeat those graded communicative syllabuses. The first one is called study skills. The second one is speech communication. The third one is interpersonal communication. The fourth one is technical communication. The fifth one is academic writing. And the next one is career development skills. I forgot one topic, one course, or one subject. In between that is business communication. I forgot. Business comm. Here the students are taught about what is a letter, the difference between a letter and a memo, and how to write a letter, what are the components of a letter, and the tone of language, how the language should be very effective. For example, it should not hurt anybody. So sometimes you will write in such a way that it will be sometimes, it will look as if it's very arrogant. So we'll be looking at the aspects of these things in terms of grammar also. And then we'll be coming to the aspect of writing reports, small reports, how those will be taken up in the syllabus. So I repeat again those graded syllabus. The first one is study skills. The second one is public speaking. The third one is interpersonal communication. The fourth one is technical communication. The fifth one is business communication, fifth one. And the sixth one is academic writing. And the seventh one is career development skills. What I understand, what I have found is that if we are introducing this graded syllabus across the curriculum for a professional student, that will take care of all his language needs. Let me take public speaking, or what we call speech communication first, as one of the topics, one of the subjects for the students. The rationale behind public speaking is that, first, as I told earlier, the students, when they're speaking in front of others, at least 4 or 5 times, they'll be losing their stage fright. But I can tell you that there are students who belong to 2 categories. Or I can say that the students can be divided into 2 categories. One is having an apprehension which is called state apprehension. State means it is surroundings are creating them apprehension. Apprehension here means fear or shyness. So they are apprehensive about the surroundings. If we are avoiding or getting rid of all those surrounding problems, surrounding hurdles, then they will be able to speak. For example, if the father is sitting in front of them, probably they will be feeling about it and they may become conscious about it. The moment they become conscious about it, they become inhibitive. They may not be able to speak. But suppose we are again, either we are removing all those hurdles in front of them, or they are again speaking in front of them, again 2-3 times speaking in front of them, they will lose all those things. And they will be able to speak. Number 2 is a state apprehension. State apprehension means it is apprehension of their own innateness. That means it is an inborn apprehension. a shyness that is inborn with them. If we are trying these students to come up with beautiful speeches, it is not possible. The more we try, the effect will be less. And probably they may be leaving. They may sometimes leave the hall also. They may leave the course also. They may leave the school or the college also because they are not able to put up with our insisting on you speak. They don't like it. But the other people, that means the stage apparition, they don't mind if we push them within 5 or 6 times of speaking, they'll be able to speak well. That's it. And now, I told you that this public speaking is not for speaking alone. The focus is on speaking. Automatically what happens is that without being aware of the fact that they're dealing with other areas of English language, they speak. But before they speak, what we do is that we'll be asking them to write down, prepare, organize a speech. Different types of speech. The speech to inform, speech to persuade, speech to actually make some action. So demonstrative speeches, all those things. So we'll be asking them to do those things. And many types of the various subjects will be taken up. Science, arts, all those things will be taken up. So they will be going and preparing. So in a sense, they will be not only speaking, they'll also be writing. And they'll be writing essays as well. So they're going for organization. So they know how to organize it. We'll be helping them do that. So half the time they'll be with us and we'll be helping them to organize it. First he'll be bringing the assignment or the organized material. We will check it. We'll ask him to redo it, and again sometimes he'll be redoing it until it becomes very, very beautiful one. And then he speaks. And while he's speaking, we'll be looking at his pronunciation aspect of it. And pronunciation will be taken up secondly as another area of discussion. So students will be listening to, okay, this is not the pronunciation is something different. You went wrong in that grammar. We'll be talking about the grammar aspect of it. So automatically, without being aware of the fact that he is being taught grammar also, he's become proficient in grammar as well. That's it. And the third aspect of it is that all these graded syllabus subjects are interactive. It will never be boring because half the time they are working. It's just like the difference between a seminar or a workshop. In the workshop, they do it. When they do it, they understand it. They learn it. That's why we are going for a graded syllabus. And even in public speaking, you look at that. The first one is that the organization will be asking the organized materials. We'll be asking them to go and collect materials so they know how to collect the materials. We'll be helping them to collect the materials. They'll be going and get the help of many people. So these are all adding towards the proficiency towards communication. And after organization, we'll be looking at each and every word formation, how they'll be the better word choices, syntax, all those things will be checked. And we'll be even looking at the aspect of propriety of language, word use, syntax. All those things can be discussed easily in the classroom, generally in the classroom, because there is a purpose behind what they're doing, and most of the students will be going for it, and they'll be very happy to do that. And they'll never get bored because everybody will be helping each other. If one is going there on the dais and everybody is listening, all the others are actually helping her to speak it out because nobody will be laughing at her because that will be affecting her. So in case there is a failure, in case she drops out, nobody will be laughing at her because this thing can happen to them also. So there will be a total support for that girl, the boy who may be standing in front of the other students. So it is very interactive, very participatory. So that is speech communication. Similar thing is that technical communication. It's so interactive. So we are asking them to do it, and they are going and doing it. It's a project, a full project. So because most of the time they will just like an engineering subject, they'll be working on it. They will be happy to do that. Because a person who is getting a job after 10 years or 15 years, he'll be on a managerial position. If he's in that position, then naturally he has to
put up a project. He'll be asked to put up a project. In that case, if he's getting training right in the college to how to put up a project and what are the components of a project very effectively, then that will be beneficial for him in the long run. And the third one is interpersonal communication. We are not teaching what is interpersonal communication in the classroom. No student knows about interpersonal communication. No teacher is teaching interpersonal communication. Even the parents are not teaching their words about how to behave in the classroom, how to behave with others. Nobody knows. So we are introducing, even though it is late. What I'm suggesting is that all these should be introduced right from the beginning. That means at the 6th or the 7th class in the school. Even in the regional medium school also, the students will be very happy to learn all those things. Interpersonal communication, how to behave. So the behavior between two people, two types of people, as I told you, husband and wife, or two friends, and how to avoid conflict. That's very important nowadays in this business world. We have to think about how to repair conflict, how to reduce conflict, how to come up with techniques and strategies to repair and come up with good relationships and self-esteem, value, all those things. I don't think that it is in the syllabus in any syllabus in the Indian university. So even if we are introducing that as a value, belief, etc., they will not be listening to us. But when they are coming to this subject, they will be very happy to listen to these aspects of interpersonal communication and what's the need for friendship, all those things will be very, very interactive, and they'll be very happy listening, and they'll be going for events and things that has happened in our society and that's happening in our society, etc. Then they'll be very happy listening to all those things. And as I told you earlier, that they'll be exposed to a number of words and which they get used in the everyday life, everyday life. And academic writing, I discussed earlier, is how to write an essay. The beginning, the body, and the conclusion we talk about. Of course, these are all interrelated things, because once you know how to write an essay, that will be helping you to go for a good speech. So this is another area, academic writing. As I told you earlier, discourse is very important there. Discourse here means anything that goes beyond the level of a sentence. Grammar is always taught at the level of 2-3 sentences, but discourse goes beyond the sentences. 2-3 sentences, it's always taught at the level of paragraphs. So most important thing is that how to connect it. Cohesion, coherence, and all those things. So we'll be connected, how sentences are being connected, how they hang together, and how one paragraph goes to the next paragraph, how that paragraph is linked to the other paragraph. So how it becomes an essay or how it becomes a chapter of one project is what we are focusing on, that one. There also we will be coming to a lot of techniques related to the connectives, collocations, language aspects and all those things. And career development skills, naturally we can put it towards the end of it. End of the 6th semester of our MBA can be put at the 3rd semester, because that will be for students who are just going for a placement. So career development skill, as I told you, refers to those skills of writing a very effective CV and also writing a cover letter. It is in the cover letter that you can talk about things that are not included in the CV. And also the cover letter shows another thing, that how can you write, how effectively and forcefully you can write. This cover letter. The other thing, the CV is not written in full sentences. So naturally nobody knows whether you know good English or not. But this cover letter will be giving an opportunity to show off your caliber of writing, your proficiency of writing. That's why cover letter. Right? So